Good morning, how are you?
It's been a weird time adjusting back to sort of some reality. I keep on expecting to go out and seeing someone throw flares and stuff.
Flares?
Oh, yeah, flares.
Well, hopefully there'll be some red flares let off when Liverpool win the league in the next, 2 weeks.
And how many games does Liverpool have to win?
If Arsenal beat Man City, then Liverpool can win at Goodison Park against Everton, which would be like the ultimate way to lose the drought. If not, then if Liverpool win the next week, then they win. I'm very excited.
But talking about, I suppose, the protests, obviously we've been on the ground kind of covering it, but we haven't really talked about it in a business perspective. In more broader terms, kind of this younger generation that seem to be really driving towards ethical products. The younger generation want brands that are ethically in line with what they believe in.
Fundamentally, people are nowhere near as ethical as they would like to be. Brands have done things that for a couple of days people say are absolutely unacceptable and never shop there again. Look at their stock price 3 months down the line, they haven't really been affected. It's very easy to take a stand from a consumer point of view publicly on your socials that if your local shop happens to be that brand, are you willing to drive 5 miles further to get the same item? No, I don't think so.
If I look at the vegan movement and how much that's grown in the last few years, see how that's tracked against the sustainability of certain brands and certain food products and certain lifestyle brands as well. And then that kind of goes hand in hand with the environmental aspect of how much the younger generation care about the environment, because obviously they're seeing this world as their world going forward. It's a very interesting movement, and then obviously we're seeing this as well with the protests and just generally about what people believe in and then aligning those beliefs to the brands that they consume or they buy. And it begs a big question for brands to have a voice like they've never had a voice before. Now brands feel like they have to say something, not just because of these protests, but on a wider scale. They have to say something because they need to inform their consumers or their potential consumers as to what they actually believe in as a brand, because they know they could actually lose sales if they don't have an opinion. Even today, we saw PG Tips and Yorkshire Tea reply to people in a very, very human way about the Black Lives Matter protests. You never write that as a brand voice, but brands are really understanding they've now had to shift to become the human behind the brand. Who is this brand and who is this consumer? Because it makes a big difference as to how many units they sell.
And I think we've got certainly a better chance than at any point in my lifetime, certainly in the UK, to actually have a meaningful change. I think COVID has sort of created a situation where things can change because things that we thought could never happen before have happened.
I could be putting stuff out on a daily basis in the vlog, whereas in the first year or so you'd be checking everything, you'd be making sure that we knew the tone, and now you trust that we know the company inside and out.
That's a really good point, actually. We didn't check anything that went out last week, not because we didn't want to, mainly because we were too busy to, but also because we genuinely believed that between yourself, Craig and Tom, you would, one, get the tone outward facing that was right, and two, that you would carry that opinion in a way that was very goat-like. Over the last 18 months, we've created a tone of voice which is light-hearted, entertaining, but factual and impactful. That really came across last week, and I was very proud, not only because we made a stand, committed to sharing people's voices rather than just stay silent or just do the bare minimum. We genuinely tried to create content that would educate and help people understand and show people what was going on, but we did it our own way. That's what I was probably most proud of. We created content that we could look back, and against all the other pieces of content we did, it fits nicely. Not only a way to speak our mind in a time that's incredibly delicate, but do it in a way where people could still watch that video in a lineup of 5 videos and still know it was Goat's video. That was very, very pleasing to me.
Karen, you're cancelled. Please tell me about your sign.
In America, if you call the police on a black person, you are actively acting and intending to get them killed, because that is the rhetoric. That's what happens over there, period. So me saying, Karen, you are cancelled, is me standing up for all of the people that have done absolutely nothing. They've been in their natural domain, they've been in a vicinity where they belong, and they've been infringed upon, and they've been brutalized verbally and then potentially physically as well, all because of the skin that they were born in. It's bullshit, it should not happen, and I am here to make sure that everyone understands that today Karen is cancelled, period.